I have two plays. I can twin Fiora and hope they don't have Flash Freeze or Brittle Steel and try and wipe all three of these, or we can deep med. But if I deep med, what am I trying to find? Single combat. That would be the thing I would want, is single combat.
Is this supposed to be a challenge?
We're gonna go big or go home. And this is actually a winning play. Oh my god. Oh my god, boys. We did it. What's good? It's Mully. Welcome to another deck guide here on the channel. Today we've got an interesting one. So I've still been playing ranked kind of off and on this season, but I did try to recently climb the ladder again on stream with the Lucian Kalista Harrowing deck that I used last season to get to Masters. The deck is still fine, but either it isn't quite as strong in this meta as before, or the win rate is finally starting to normalize, which is something every new deck goes through, usually after people figure out how to play against it. Anyway, I decided to switch to this deck, kind of on a whim. And surprisingly, I just started dunking people with it. Now, I've only played 10 games so far, but I did win 8 of those games. So I'm not claiming that this deck is the new meta, since I don't think it's actually that strong, but it does have a few things going for it. The biggest thing is the surprise factor, because opponents can't really distinguish this list from a normal Fiora Shen list, because the normal Fiora Shen lists are more unit heavy, and because they're expecting Fiora Shen to be more unit heavy, they mulligan incorrectly against this deck, which is more spell heavy. But I've had a lot of fun climbing with this deck. Some of you that are newer to the game are going to look at this list and wonder, why is this Fiora Shen deck built this way? But those of you that have been playing Legends of Runeterra since early open beta know exactly what's going on with this deck. This is old school Fiora combo. Before the Targon Fiora list that we see now, and the Frostbite Fiora lists that were a thing for a bit, this is what all-in Fiora decks looked like. At least this is what players tried to make work. Let me explain that. So, back in the very early days of open beta, a lot of players, myself included, tried to build Fiora Shen like an all-in Fiora combo deck, and every attempt was unsuccessful. It was when I believe Super JJ built Fiora Shen as more of a mid-range deck with more units that abuse barriers that Fiora Shen started seeing a lot more success. And Super JJ's list basically became the original version of the deck as we know it today. It has since been refined by players like Bruised by God, and a lot of the standard Fiora Shen lists we see now are based off of his list. But again, this deck is a throwback to the earliest days of Runeterra, when Fiora Shen was considered bad. And so far, this list feels a lot better than those old decks did. I'll be going over the game plan of this deck, but this time around, I won't be going through the entire deck list. We'll just be touching mainly on how this deck is played and some brief mulligan tips while talking about a few card choices that might look weird to some players. So, because this list is more spell heavy, the game plan for this deck is different from your standard Fiora Shen deck. You actually want to play this more like a combo deck that goes all in on winning with Fiora by getting 4 kills with her. Similar to Butterfly Fiora, which is the Targon Demacia version I mentioned earlier that plays almost the same way that this would. Except with this deck, you are using barrier effects along with stat buffs to protect Fiora. We have 12 barrier effects that help us do that, and Shen is included in those 12 cards. However, I'm a big fan of running as much card draw as possible in combo decks, so I'm also playing 12 draw effects to mostly thin the deck out in order to get Fiora quickly and more consistently if she's not in my opening hand. Key Guardian doubles as both card draw and a barrier effect. And Vanguard Redeemer also has the chance to pull Fiora out of the deck directly if you can activate her, though 3 copies might be overkill. The nice thing about this list is that even though it's more spell heavy than the standard Fiora Shen deck, this deck can play just like a normal Fiora Shen deck can if you have the right opening hand, albeit not as well. But there are 19 units in this deck, which is around the amount that I like to run in more spell heavy decks in Runeterra, but I wouldn't say it's too low of an amount either. The rest of the cards are pretty much standard fare for what you would either see in a Fiora Shen mid-range deck or a more spell-heavy all-in Fiora deck that uses her as a primary win condition. Twin Disciplines being in here because it's an unconditional stat buff effect that bursts speed. Redeemer we already talked about, being a unit that can pull any of our other units out of our deck, including champions, if an ally died earlier that turn. Spirit's Refuge is a bit of a flex slot, I feel like, but I think this deck does want 1 copy no matter what. Judgment and Unyielding Spirit are the weird cards in this deck. They might get cut, but I'm liking what both have to offer so far at 1 copy apiece. I still think there's some value in running Judgment with Fiora, especially since it can still put in work if you end up going to beat down Gameplan with a leveled up Shen, a Bright Steel Formation, or a big Green Glade Caretaker. Speaking of which, this deck can still win with Shen, Bright Steel Formation, and a few other units on board. So don't think that Fiora is your only win condition with this deck. As far as the mulligans go, make sure you have at least 1 unit in your opening hand at the start of the game. Ideally, you want that unit to be Fiora, but either River Shaper or Green Glade Caretaker are fine. I'm not afraid to keep 2 or even 3 units though if I've got them, depending on the matchup. If you've got at least 1 unit, your next priority is to keep your cheaper spells that protect your units, like Sharp Sight, Twin Disciplines, and even Key Guardian kind of counts sometimes. If you think you can afford to skip round 2 into playing Key Guardian on your 3-drop on round 3 and then playing your 3-drop that same round, especially if you're going first. You definitely want to keep multiple units against more aggressive decks and use your cheaper spells to protect them. Spirit's Refuge, it is good against aggro, but only keep it if you have other units in hand already. Green Glade Caretaker and Bright Steel Protector is a good opener, just like in normal Fiora Shen decks. Vanguard Redeemer is usually not a keep, but against aggro, you want her just as a blocker, especially if you only have 1 or no other units to play before round 3. Shen I'll only keep if I have another unit I can play earlier against anything that isn't super fast. And I pretty much don't keep anything else that costs 4 or more ever, other than what I already mentioned, that is. But that's pretty much it for the guide portion of this video. We're going to jump into some gameplay in a bit. This deck was a bit more of a fun one, but I may continue to tweak this since there's other cards I'm thinking of trying out. So make sure to check out the video description below for any updates on the deck, since the link to the deck and the deck code will be down there. Some possibilities are standalone and riposte, among others. But hopefully you all enjoyed the guide. I would very much appreciate feedback on this different format as well, because while it's faster than going through every card in the deck list, it's also less beginner friendly that way, admittedly. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you did like the guide, feel free to hit the like button just below the video. If you don't want to miss future Legends of Runeterra videos, or if you've just been enjoying what I've been uploading so far, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell so you're guaranteed to never miss a video from me. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this. I hope you all enjoy the games coming up, and I'll see you all next time. I don't know how we're gonna do against this, because our list is so spell heavy. So I don't know. I might even keep this Vanguard Redeemer, just because we don't. I run what, 20 units? I think not even. I run like 18 or 19. It's not a lot of units, and it's discard aggro. They're full of units. Okay, well, we have Fiora. Fiora's actually good. All right. So Fiora's gonna be our win con. Like, I think I legit pass. I don't even think I play this. I think I just pass. I think I'm just gonna rely on Fiora winning the game for me. And they might play a unit here. Just to try and max out their board. Jury rig? Jury rig. Oh, no, they're open attacking. Okay. We have Spirit's Refuge, so that's fine.
Save your worlds. We speak with blades.
Okay. What's my plan next turn? I don't think we want to... I think we're fine doing this. Yeah, next turn I'll probably Bright Steel Protector. Yeah, we'll Bright Steel Protector. And see, the thing is, if they tap out for crowd favorite, we will instantly kill it. Since we'll just twin disciplines. And I think I would actually let them kill my Bright Steel Protector with the 2/2 just on purpose. Just so they'll have less units on the board. So they can't do their go wide thing. I think that's what I'm doing. Legit. Like, I don't even care that I end up losing this thing. Because I don't know, I just don't want the elusives sticking around. And then they might not block, so... Well, no, that's fine. Whatever. I'll kill a ground unit. I'll kill the 2/2. If they play crowd favorite now...
No equal.
I think we don't put Fiora in danger and we just twin disciplines into single combat here.
Stands for Jinx.
Oh, I could do it now. Yeah, I'll Fortitude and just kill Jinx. They need Poro Cannon.
Finally, peace and quiet.
Alright, I'm gonna save mana for Spirit's Refuge this turn. Yeah, I'm still not casting this. I need to protect Fiora. She's one away from winning us the game. So like, we know what our win con is here. We're probably not gonna die. Yeah, I'm good.
For the honor of God.
Easy.
As I expected.
All right. We can play like normal Fiora Shen with this hand. It's definitely possible. We definitely want to keep the Fiora and probably the Caretaker too. I think this whole hand is good.
These woods protect their own.
There's actually merit to not playing Caretaker here.
Intruders.
So that way I can play a 3-mana unit and still have mana for Twin Disciplines. Now I'm not gonna have that. So I'm inclined to actually play River Shaper here.
But never breaks.
Because we want to protect Fiora. That's what we want to do with this version. We don't care about dealing 20 damage.
Best job.
Okay. That's fine. We don't want to give them 2 axes, so it kind of sucks. It is what it is, though. Now we can play Fiora. And we should be able to protect her.
Coming right
Excuse me.
By my honor, you must die.
Oh no, it's a ward.
I'm not gonna play the other Caretaker.
Put on me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
We have enough mana to like basically deny anything here. See, that's kind of tough. I could just try and kill Draven here. I have a lot of backup. I don't think we can go for Unyielding Spirit. I think it's too risky. It's just way too risky to go for Unyielding Spirit here when they could just easily either get excited or...
I long for a worthy opponent.
They would play Get Excited, I believe. I'm pretty sure.
I am one with the
Yeah, I think this is too risky. Yep, they went for it. Ah, you suck, bro. Guess I could have went for Twin here, but I really wanted to hit the Draven. All right, well. Guess we're just gonna kill Draven and try again.
I will cut you down.
On guard.
Like, maybe that's not right.
Fans,
Maybe it's not right, but... Okay, at least we have this. We really should save it for Ez.
True display of skill.
That's what we should save it for.
I don't miss.
Just you two, alright.
my life for these lands. Stay back.
No way.
Today we turn the tide of war.
Nice. Give me that Fiora. I have no way of protecting her, but it's nice that we got her. We will not next round, but the round after. We can go like Fiora into Shen.
We strike.
I mean, Fiora into Bright Steel formation. That's fine.
Injustice.
Don't blink or you'll miss me.
We probably don't want to play River Shaper here. Well, I don't know. Actually, yes, we do. It prevents the 4-2 from attacking in. That's literally worst case scenario. Or it forces them to have Mystic Shot here. So. Alright, we have Fiora plus Unyielding Spirit. That is bad. That is very bad.
They would fall by my blade.
Currents pull them down.
Let's see if they want a Mystic Shot first.
A gift from the river folk. Waters are nailed it.
They'll have enough mana next turn to do the thing, right? You don't want to waste it, do you? Surely you don't. I think we lose this. This is actually how they win. It's never Ezreal. It's always Farron. That's the hilarious part.
Nature blesses her followers.
For the honor of House Try Me.
Who would trespass here?
I'm gonna force them to block.
Nature blesses her followers.
Actually, I didn't even have to do that. I could have just waited. That was silly.
Arrogant to the end.
Nature blesses her followers.
Yeah, I kind of screwed up there with that Twin Disciplines. It didn't even matter, but
My grove.
yeah, I didn't have to do all that. Yep, this is how they win. I think we need a petition to rename that deck from Draven Ezreal to
Regain what we have lost.
PNZ Farron. That's probably what it should be named. Is PNZ Farron. But they played one earlier. Ooh. I think we beat this, even like with this version. I think we still beat this. Maybe. Okay, fine.
I am one with the land.
I kept Redeemer for this reason, like in case Caretaker dies, then I can play this on 3.
Hand.
Hopefully. I don't know though, like Boxtopus would actually get me here. Well, we drew Sharp Sight. I don't know. They wouldn't play Boxtopus here. Not to just kill this. There's no way. Okay. Sure. We need to bank spell mana anyway.
Who goes there?
afraid. Just a wee bit blind.
I'd rather save. I have a lot of removal, but I think I'd rather save this for. Ooh. Okay. Can I protect Shen if I play him now? That's a croaker.
It's not soap. You've been drinking this?
No, I think I'm gonna go protector here. I think I want at least 4 mana up for when I play Shen.
Where are you off to?
Okay. There's a reason why they're doing that. And that's why. I think I'm fine with that. Okay. Is it a 3/3? I could single here. Give this up instead. Greenglade Caretaker is probably more valuable. I think I actually want a single combat here. And save the Caretaker because we have Shen in our hand.
I walk the space between worlds.
I might play this other Caretaker too, just because.
I am here to help.
Yeah, I will.
These woods protect their own.
Keeper, our lands need us.
Pablo's been down and his knee out. Ah, I told your ancestors to protect.
Nature blesses her followers.
You are better than this.
I'm gonna single combat well, single combat Soraka. Just get rid of her before she becomes too much of a problem.
Nature blesses her followers.
We don't have enough mana for Judgment, so that's out. I can try and protect this Caretaker. I think Shen's #1 priority though. We do have enough mana to Redeemer and double Sharp Sight, but then that means we can't Judgment next turn if we need to. They healed that much? I guess they did.
To heal and protect.
Wow. Okay.
You leave me no choice.
Should have stayed home, pal.
That's fine.
Live with purpose. Take heart.
My life for these lands.
Here's the problem, chat. If I play Sharp Sight on this other Caretaker here, they could Pale Cascade and save Soraka, and I don't want that to happen. So I think I would rather pass here and see if they have the Pale Cascade, and they do. So now I will double Sharp Sight and still kill Soraka.
For life.
Today we turn the tide of war.
Nice. That is good.
You're covered.
Duty, selflessness, heavy burdens.
Deadly paths, just another day in Targon.
So I go.
Nature blesses her followers.
This is is outrage!
Okay. They probably want to keep Boxtopus alive at all costs. Hush, okay. So we'll need the Spirit's Refuge here. Because we want to save,
Our wills align.
I want to save the Caretaker so that way I have a target to use Judgment with.
Nature blesses her followers.
How many Hushes have they used? I think they've used 2. Yep, they've used 2. There's 1 left at best. We'll chill here. See what they want to do. Excuse me.
I need a rubber chick! Ring the fucking bell!
Box the
You off to?
Boxtopus. You better figure it out.
You would test my steel?
Table for one, if you'd oblige.
I'm actually gonna
Dinner on you then.
I've trained my whole life.
I'm gonna play Redeemer because I want them to
Stand back. I'll protect you.
I want them to try and block as many things as possible.
There's a will, there's a will.
It must be done.
Nature blesses her followers.
You're in for a whooping.
Also, there is Stand United here. So if they decide not to block everything,
Another nibble.
then we can Stand United right here.
Closer, friend.
This
Another obstacle.
15 out of 22.
We walk between realms.
Nature blesses her followers.
Let's try that. Got him. Nice. So if they were gonna block with Tahm Kench there, I probably would have went Judgment. And then if they didn't, then I'd go for the Stand United. Because if that Tahm Kench dies, they can't use the spell. Because the spell remembers which Tahm Kench generated it. So even if they played another Tahm Kench, they can't actually use the acquired taste spell that the last Tahm Kench played.